I think childcare is really a passion-based career. And if your eyes don't light up when you're talking about the kids that you're babysitting for, that for me is the biggest telltale sign of what that sitter is going to be like and how they're going to interact with the kids that they're working with.
You're listening to Everybody Loves Naples, an unfiltered and educational podcast about living in Southwest Florida. We're your hosts. My name is Natalie Perez-Benatoa.
And my name is Lance Martinicchio. From the best restaurants and things to do to our local real estate market, we're sitting down with local business owners and community leaders to provide a deeper understanding of what makes Naples, Naples.
Now let's get the show on the road. Welcome back to Everybody Loves Naples. We are so excited for our guest today, Madison Hill with Naples Babysitting Company.
Oh,
welcome, Madison.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for coming.
My first podcast. So
Yay.
Really interested to see how this all goes.
I love it. Well, we are so excited to have you on. You are born and raised here, like myself, and you went to Barron?
Yes,
Yeah.
went to Barron, bounced around to a lot of schools actually, which I feel like is a little bit of a plus being in the childcare. I get to recommend, from my experience, a lot of different schools. Went to Village School, went to Seacrest, went to Barron. My mom taught at Gulfview, taught at Lake Park now, taught at Pine Ridge. So
Wow.
lots of experience with a lot of different schools here,
Yeah.
which is nice because we do work with so many, of the school age kiddos that we have here in town.
So tell us a little bit about, obviously you were here and I know you a little more than Lance knows you, but you went to Ole Miss. And then how did you get this idea to come back to Naples and open this company that clearly we are in need of, because I know you are very busy and your babysitters are very busy. So tell us a little bit more about the journey of how Naples Babysitting Company came to be.
Yeah, for sure. So it actually kind of started with an idea of when I was in college. I wanted to babysit, perfect little part-time job for a college student, someone who was going to school for education. And I was all over Facebook, all over care.com, getting scammed by people on care.com, maybe finding one babysitting job every once in a blue moon, which wasn't, consistent for what I needed.
Right.
And I was like, gosh, like, why isn't there like a way to connect, families with college students? And then I had an internship in Colorado and they actually had a babysitting agency there. And I was like, this is awesome. I was a full-time intern, but I was not paid. So I needed some income, extra nights and weekends, things like that. Started working with them. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. How come this isn't everywhere all over the world? So, spoke with the owner a little bit about what she did. Mind you, I'm still in college at this point. So this is really just
You're not even thinking of a career.
no, I'm just like, wow, this is so awesome. I want to
Yeah.
learn more about this. Like, maybe I'll work for them, when I graduate, something like that. Ended up graduating in 2020. So it wasn't really even graduation. It was just, please don't ever come back here. We're done now. So, graduated in 2020
Right.
and moved back out to Colorado for a little bit, worked there. Wasn't necessarily the place to be at the time with everything that was going on. So moved home to Naples, started teaching here at a local school, Collier County Public Schools. Loved it, loved the kids that I was working with. But it always was deep down, how cool was that company that I worked for? I wish that I could have had the opportunity to work with them more or, do something more with them. And I was like, well, we don't have anything like it here in Naples.
No.
So kind of started brainstorming, putting some things together. Mostly it was just me and me babysitting nights and weekends when I wasn't teaching, which led to my cousins and then my cousins' friends, and then which led to FGCU students. So really connecting the college students with the families who need babysitters here in Naples. And that's kind of long story short of, bringing, our families here in Naples to mostly FGCU college students who are our babysitters nowadays.
That is so incredible. And so being open under 4 years.
Yeah, actually our 3-year anniversary next Monday. So
Oh my gosh.
three years now. Yeah.
3 years. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been an awesome 3 years.
So are you still teaching?
No, I am not.
Okay. So
I
this is full time?
Yep, full time. Yeah, I taught for 1 year and thought maybe I'd teach a little bit, and it ended up consuming a lot more of my time, which is great because I get to, devote all of my time and attention to the business and, hiring the most quality babysitters, to, constantly expanding our services and what we do and, how we can also get involved with the community. That's honestly been one of my favorite parts is getting to, volunteer back to, the Collier County Public Schools,
Yeah.
and, work with them for, fall festivals and walkathons and things like that, volunteering not only my time, but, the babysitters and, getting to connect with our families.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, no, that's a great story. So is it primarily college girls that you use to, for the babysitting?
Yes, I would say now it is about 99% college students.
College students,
Mhm.
boys and girls, or
Just girls.
yeah, yeah. I was just-
Would love to have a guy apply. If anyone's out there listening, or you're a guy, you want to babysit, come my way. We
I don't know
definitely,
if parents might not want a guy babysitter.
which we, some are like women only. Sometimes we get
Yeah.
like if they got 3 little boys, they're like, "Do you have
That's
a guy
so true.
babysitter?" Because they
Yeah.
want someone who's going to be a little more rough and
Yeah.
tumble with the boys. But we've got
Yeah.
some rough and tumble girls too. So
That's awesome. Wait,
Yeah.
so how many sitters do you have right now, right, on your staff?
yeah, I think right now we have about 80, 85 girls.
In
seriously.
less than 3 years, 80 babysitters
Wow.
at your service in the local Naples area.
And always hiring more. We're constantly expanding. It feels like we just never have enough. I'm like, oh my gosh, perfect. I just hired like 15 more girls. And then season comes around and it's like,
Right.
okay, now we've got, 15 more families who need a babysitter on Saturday. So constantly expanding as well.
I really feel like it's an everlasting business model because you'll always have the college student who wants to make some extra cash,
hmm
and you will always have a family in need who needs a babysitter that they
Yeah.
can trust and that knows the area and that lives down here and has some roots. I mean, the owner has the roots. It's
Yeah.
just it's perfect. So your role in the company now, what would you, I mean, no, you're the CEO, you're the founder, but
I can't see you. Yeah, you're not out there. You're not doing babysitting anymore, I imagine.
Not necessarily, not as much as I used to for sure. I mean, when I started it, it was almost just me constantly
Mhm.
babysitting. But now because we have, say 15, 20 girls on reservations every day, I do try to kind of stay in the office just in case emergency happens, someone needs me, last minute reservation. But some of our bigger reservations, I will be a little bit more hands-on with. So if we have like a big corporate event or wedding reservation, things like that. That's where I kind of step in. And
Yeah.
that's my, where I love to be involved now is where we get to do these bigger events with 15 babysitters and 35 kids, and doing activities and karaoke and different
Wow,
fun things
so-
like that.
So walk us through that. So if someone booked you to come to their wedding to watch the kids and to have but they're still at the wedding?
Yeah, it's almost like we do like a kids like reception. So we'll have like a completely different ballroom or area of the wedding space
Wow.
that we will have set aside for the kids and the babysitters. So, which is in all different capacities. We've done everything from one babysitter with 5 kids to, like corporate events, which are kind of similar where, not necessarily a wedding, but parents are next door at a fancy gala dinner. And we're in the ballroom on the other side doing, kids activities.
That's so cool.
Yeah, this is so intriguing to me.
I
This
know.
whole thing.
Me
you
too.
know. I
Thank
mean, I have so
you.
many questions. Like,
Ask away.
Yeah.
As do I. Like, what's your process? Sorry, I cut you off, Lance.
no, you didn't. I'm used to it.
Um, what's your process for qualifying your employees?
Yeah, absolutely. So at this point, we've recently started doing a referral based system. So we really rely on the sitters who are already on the team to recommend their friends. Not to say that we wouldn't hire someone who, just kind of found us out of a whim, but
Yeah.
that is a huge bonus is to know that they are, recommended by a sitter who's already on the team. But really it's, they need to have 5+ years of childcare experience. We require, which if they don't already have it, they can get it when they join the team, CPR certification, pool and water safety, choking hazards and precautions, all of those safety courses. We double check their references, background check, things like that. But it really is, I like to think I have a really good gauge on personality. So, of course, I do in-person interviews, in-person trainings, and that's how I get a good idea. Because as much as you could look at a resume, I
Yeah.
mean, you could hype your resume up, or you could just not be very good at writing a resume. But when you're in person talking and sharing your experiences, I think childcare is really a passion-based career. And if your eyes don't light up when you're talking about the kids that you're babysitting for, then I know, like,
Yeah.
but if their eyes are lighting up and they're getting excited talking about, the families that they've worked with, the activities that they've done, that for me is the biggest telltale sign of what that sitter is going to be like and how they're going to interact with the kids that they're working with.
So how do the parents find you? How would they know, because I mean, I have a child. He's 13 now. He doesn't need a babysitter, but I would never go on care.com. I would never go hire a stranger to watch my kid. And I guess, so I don't know, how do they know where to find you? And,
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's
our podcast, Lance.
Yeah, for sure. Number one shout out.
Yeah.
But a lot, originally started definitely with, probably originally started with word of mouth.
Yeah.
I posted it on my Facebook, and my mom, who's a teacher in Collier County Public Schools, posted it on her Facebook. And of course she has, friends who are teachers or in the school system and have kids and yada, yada. So word of mouth first. And then a lot of Google. We can work with a lot of visiting and vacationing families.
Sure.
So that is their only option, is to
Google
search.
someone.
Yeah. Search babysitter in Naples and see what comes up. Partner with the hotel. So they might go to the concierge and ask, hey, need a babysitter. Who do you guys recommend? We are vetted through some of the different hotels.
That's a great idea.
Thanks. Yeah. So that's a big one. We work a lot with the JW Marriott. They're one of our big partners over there. And then over the last couple of years, it's really been back to word of mouth. All the families who have been working with us for years and years, recommending it to their neighbors, to their friends, to their siblings, things like that. So we do see a lot of, we'll be like, oh, I'm like, oh, that address looks really familiar. I'm like, oh yeah, they're right next door to the, Smith family, or, yada, yada. They're all back to back to back, and, just recommending their neighbors and friends at this point, which is, I think, the highest form of compliment, is to just recommend us to family and friends.
Absolutely. I think Naples in general is a very much word of mouth town. And I think with us, and our hope for this podcast is for those who might not be from here, but want to feel like a local, they get an inside look. And it truly is a word of mouth and referral based town.
Yeah.
City.
I wish I would have known about this, 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, they didn't exist.
Oh, yeah. I guess
she's one of a kind.
3 years ago,
3
though.
years ago.
Well, rated best in Gulf Shore life.
Yes. Two years in a row. Hoping for number 3. We should find out here soon.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. It's it really has been an honor. The feedback that we've received from the community, and really just to give back to my own community, that I have grown up in. It just is such an honor to be involved, and for our parents to actually been like, yes, we needed this. That is the best thing to me, is, getting that feedback.
Yeah. And one of the things I hear a lot from people that come down here, or clients, there's nothing for the kids to do in Naples.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing for kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
they took away King Richard's. So
at least they have a good babysitter now.
For sure. And going off of that, one of the reasons that I really, my core values when we started it, is to be a really hands-on and engaging experience, especially when a parent needs a babysitter. Most likely parents are going on a date night or going to do something fun. We want that experience to be the same for the kids who are at home or at the hotel. They might not be going out and doing whatever, but, there's so many activities that, kids can get excited about. We bring all of our sitters come prepared with games, toys, and activities. So
they're not just coming there on their phone, sitting on the couch scrolling.
No, absolutely not. They would not be on our team anymore if that was the case. No, we really expect the girls to be, giving the kids that they're working with, a super fun and exciting experience. And going off of what you said, though, I think there are so many family-friendly activities, especially in the past few years. If you really look into it, every weekend there's something going on. Just driving down the street, I think this weekend we've got Greek festival, Everglades Seafood Festival,
Cars and coffee.
Cars and coffee. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
there's so much going on, and not necessarily are those all super,
Kids
kid
get bored.
friendly, but but there are activities that we can involve the kids in. And if you look into it, there really is so much more that our community is doing to be family friendly, which over the past few years, I'm sure you guys have noticed in the real estate realm, the influx of families that we've seen moving to Naples. And that's
yeah.
one thing that I think really keeps our business going, is that, we went from the nearly dead and newlywed
we talk about that all the time.
to this younger community of people, young families, young kids. And it's nice. It's refreshing.
Oh my gosh, I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, the schools are overcrowded down here.
Mhm.
They just opened up a brand new high school in North Naples.
And it's probably already completely
It'll
filled.
be 1,800 students.
Yeah.
1,800 students. It
Yeah.
just opened up.
Mhm.
So, and I mean, yeah, in 20 years, it's going to be all people that grew up in Naples.
Yeah.
All people that grew up here, not moved here from somewhere else. Or
Yeah.
Mhm. Which is so funny, because I'm sure you get this all the time too, Natalie. Like when people are like, "You're from here?" Like
Right.
people are from here.
Right.
You're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
people are
they
from
really
here."
have to stop what they're doing and make sure that's what I said. I'm like, yep. And we're still here.
And we're still-
we're
Mhm.
back. And
And it's funny to me because I feel like a lot of people I know, I'm like all of my friends are from here. Like
Right.
I know, like people are from here, but maybe like we were saying, it's such a word of mouth town. It's like we're all kind of in our bubble of
Right.
like been here, from here. And if you're just new here, hopefully you're listening to the podcast to meet the people that are from here and knowing the word of mouth things.
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, I've been here for 17 years and I feel like I've
Yeah.
grown up here. It's weird, but
But that's a long
17
time
years
to be
a long time.
here. Yeah.
Mhm. Where are you
So-
from originally?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and everyone up there, they don't leave, right? Everyone stays, goes to college, and then comes back and then starts their families there.
Mhm.
Like majority of people stay there. So for people now, what I'm seeing, I'm actually seeing friends of mine who have kids that have gone to college in Florida and they're staying, they're not going back.
Yeah.
So kids are going a lot further away than where they used to. And yeah, they're not coming back. So
Mm.
they're all coming here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody loves Naples.
Yep.
That's my favorite. So, okay, I have to ask,
Mhm.
because I remember when I did some babysitting in my day, and it's a long time ago, so the pay is different. But do you have a sliding scale for families or for certain sitters, or for pricing wise for what you charge? Is it dependent on how many kids, or do you have a flat
Yes.
fee? Okay, tell us a little bit more about your pricing structure. Just you might get business from this episode, and we're hoping we can just get all the info.
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. Yeah. So we start at $30 an hour
Okay.
for one kid. Each additional child is an additional $2 an hour. So we try to keep it, pretty easy to remember, one kid 30, two kids 20, even numbers going up from there. Of course, if it is a holiday or if you're on Marco Island, there might be some additional driving fees, but generally, Naples, Bonita, Estero, Fort Myers, no driving fees. We've got sitters who will go to all of those locations.
Wow.
And 3-hour minimum. So, got to be at least 3 hours, but no maximum. We do overnights. We
Oh, wow.
travel with families. So every reservation's customized to the families we work with. So whether they need someone to pick up the kids from school, drop them off at home,
Wow.
take them to the park while the sitters are there, anything, we just ask the parents to give us as much information so that we can try to make the reservation that, best it can be.
You'll just come and take the kids off their hands. Like, get
Yeah.
these kids out of my hair.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with, the whole work from home movement that we've seen over the past few years since COVID. A lot of our parents are working from home, and it's hard if they've got, a kid who has a day off of school and they're like, I still got to work from home, but I can't have my kids running around the house all day. We'll take them, to the zoo, to the conservancy, explore, there's so many little things that, are super kid interactive. You just gotta, find them.
Yeah.
So I guess, obviously this keeps you very busy when, owning this business, but what do you like to do in the area then for, your free time? And,
Yeah. Lots of things. I mean, everybody loves Naples. I adore it. There's so many things I love to do here. Particularly going out on the boat. I think that's something that, has always kept me coming back to Naples, whether it's going away to school, moving out to Colorado, that's my favorite thing in the world. It's just Saturday,
Boat
getting
days.
on the boat, heading down to Key Waden, going down to Marco for lunch. Like, that's definitely something I grew up doing and will continue to do my entire life. But also, we have such amazing food here. I'm sure, as you guys know, absolutely love our restaurants. Love going out to eat. Go to a local yoga studio. Shout out to the Yoga House. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Go to yoga a lot. Hang out with my puppies. I don't know. Go to Rotary. That's how Natalie and I know each other. So
So you guys met at Rotary?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Can you believe that two young, beautiful women?
Rotary, I think of like just old men.
It's an
Well, not
old
anymore.
men's club, but we have
We're
changed.
infiltrating.
They must love
Yeah.
you two there.
Oh, you
Yes.
have no idea.
We are quite popular in the club, but
It's like if we don't show up one day, it's like I'm
We're
sure
just girls.
it's like white noise. No.
No, I think we're really blessed. We got an awesome Rotary
Oh.
Club, really cool people. Everyone, has their different niches in Naples. So it's really fun to, hear about different people's businesses. We always have different speakers. So that's really I've been in Rotary for about a year now and I love it. Look forward to it. We always have awesome, community service events that we get involved with, just fun events, happy hours, things like that. So always something going on with Rotary, which is, it's always fun.
It is fun. It is fun. And I know you're a big boater and we like to do our walks.
Yes.
Baker Park, Greenway. I want to circle back to the business just for a sec. I know we need to talk about Naples, but I know you got started kind of on Facebook with this whole thing of posting. How has technology helped your business here in Naples? Like, are there certain systems that you're using in your business currently?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, I think we're pretty rudimentary in what we do. We just kind of have our website that you submit the form. We kind of communicate via email. Nothing too complicated, but I do think as far as the technology, social media side of things goes, that is a huge player. And I think in any small business nowadays, to be able to not only share pictures, videos, testimonies, but I think a big thing of it is also seeing if a local mom goes on and follows our Instagram and she sees that 15 of her mutual friends are also following our Instagram.
Yeah.
That's almost like back to the word of mouth thing right there. It's like, oh, well, I didn't even hear you, but I've got 15 mutual friends.
Right.
15 of my friends might also use the same company kind of thing.
It's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as you don't get Naples mom Facebook page bad mouthing you.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Then you got them all.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Keep on their good side for sure.
I
Have you been on that?
No.
Have you been on that one?
No, I hear about it all the time.
It is. They got a lot to say on there.
Yeah, I bet they do.
It's everything from taking a picture of their child's wart and being like, what is this? Or is my child okay? I don't know. Maybe take them to a doctor.
That's
To,
so funny.
I think my husband's cheating on me, and an elaborate story. And all these people are like,
Yeah, I think I saw him at the club.
yeah,
or
is this him?
the country club, that is.
I had to turn off the notifications. I was getting too invested in what was going on. And then you're and then it's a client, and I'm like, oh no, looks like so-and-so's getting a divorce. I guess we're gonna have
They'll
two
need us
addresses.
more now.
I guess they need to sell their house. Natalie, Lance. Yeah.
Keep you guys in mind. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So much you can get from the social media. It's almost too much sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you use it in the right way, it can be great.
Yeah.
If we get lost in those comments, gets crazy.
Don't go down a rabbit hole in the Naples mom group.
Speaking of the moms and the parents, I feel like, how do you qualify them for your sitters?
Yeah. So definitely a little bit more lax. I'm sure, as you guys know, and everyone know listening to this, we live in such a safe community. I think that's what makes my job really easy on that front, is that Naples is a really safe place. So already right off the bat, I'm not too worried. It's really if something gives me a bad feeling that I'll, kind of dive deeper. But a lot of times, like I said, a lot of people follow our Instagram, follow our Facebook. So if I go on and I'm like, oh, well, mom of 4, and there's a bunch of pictures of her and the kiddos doing activities, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
solid. They're, like gotta be a pretty decent family. Um,
That's so true. Everybody kind of qualifies himself these days for the most part
what they share.
with what they
'Cause
share.
everything's perfect.
And
Yeah.
everything's perfect, but and the mutual friends they might have, like back to your point. It's like, oh, this mom's friends with this mom and they are at the same yoga studio. I've seen her around town.
Yeah.
Like that's
Usually you surround yourself with similar like-minded people. And
I don't know why I'm asking because I would show up to any house as a babysitter.
You just
yeah, no, for sure.
No.
Like when I was in college, like when I'm looking on these care.coms and Facebooks, I'd just be like, well,
I'm just looking at the
Here we
rate. I'm like,
go.
yeah, I can do that. I only did it for a few years, but it's in New York. It was great money. I'm sure in Colorado.
yeah. And New York, that's like a completely different ball game. It's not
It's
like
a career.
yeah,
It's like
I'm
au
sure.
pairs left and right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But as far as you guys as like way to vouch people, which might not be the best way, but real estate wise, looking at the neighborhoods that families live in. And not to say that is
so
a
judgy.
yeah, not to say that it's like that's the thing,
Our
but
ethics
like
board is going to flag this. I'm kidding.
but if you send me an address and you're like at the Motel 6
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the East Trail, I might be like,
You're not.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna send my baby.
Have you had any requests that you denied?
Not necessarily, but if there's something that gives me like a fishy feeling, I will call them. I usually call most of my parents first anyways.
Yeah.
So that I'm having that conversation over the phone. I think it's less likely to, get away with being,
Mhm.
I don't know, what they're trying to get away with,
Yeah.
over the phone. But if I ever get an, weird feeling, I will call the parents. And usually I'm like, so, you guys live here, you visiting, whose home is it? Oh, it's an Airbnb. Okay. How long have you guys been coming to Naples for? What are you doing, while the babysitter? Are you guys planning on being home, being out, kind of asking a little bit more in-depth questions to get an idea. But I will say I think we're almost at like 6,000 or 7,000 reservations we've done. I've never had an issue. Like
So you've never had someone come back and say, I am never going back to that house again.
I mean, we've had babysitters be like, those kids were like
Yeah.
a little
Right.
crazy.
Probably the
That's great.
kids.
It's always the worst.
I want to
biggest
share a
complaint
horror
is like,
story or something.
I
It's
wish I had
Naples.
one, but yeah,
Everything's perfect here in
everything's
Naples.
perfect.
Pleasantville.
Exactly. And that's those parents got to, continue that illusion. You can't have,
That's right.
Sally Sue babysitting and then going to their friend's house and being like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, well, you guys are so much better than over, two
Yeah.
houses down.
But
So,
that's good though, that you don't have any of these crazy stories or.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think we're just so blessed to live where we live here in
Mhm.
Naples. Like, it's just such a safe community. And that's why families are moving here. That's why we're getting, the reputation that we have is because we are such a safe community and makes it easy for me to do my job. So I appreciate that.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you have however many sitters, about 80
Mhm.
and 7,000 reservations in the past 3 years. How do you match the sitter to maybe the child's personality? I know we all have our own personalities. And I think that's probably important. And I'm assuming one of the reasons you're so successful, because is there a method with that or?
It depends. For a bigger, so we are not necessarily a nanny agency.
Right.
So where I think that kind of comes into play more is if you're working with someone long term,
Yeah.
versus, we're only there for a couple hours to put the kids to bed,
Right.
to hang out with them. And of course, we want to make sure that our sitters and our, the kids that they're working with and the families are all getting along. But we really just kind of look at, we want to make sure that the sitter is qualified, has ample experience with the ages that they're working with. And then, of course, the availability. We are slammed all the time. So it is a little bit, more of our forefront to make sure that we have someone available. If it is a family who's looking for something more like we want someone every Wednesday to like help pack lunches and like do the afternoon routine, then we recommend our families to kind of meet a couple different sitters and then let us know who's the best fit for them. As much as I could try to say, I know this
Yeah.
babysitter and based off of what your family says,
Right.
but babysitters or, people think they have different qualities than they actually have. Parents think that they have different qualities than they
Mhm.
actually have. So for me, and something that I've really learned over the past 3 years of doing this is, when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, it's got to be the perfect fit. They've got to be the
Right.
best match. Like, there's only so much I can do. Like, I don't really know them.
Yeah.
And with what we do kind of being short term, I don't really have the means to time
No.
to really get to know them. So I recommend to our families, meet a couple sitters. You meet a sitter that you guys, didn't necessarily love the first time, try someone else. You guys love working with her, recommend or request her every single time.
Yeah.
And if she's available, of course, we want to see that, connection. And we have some of our sitters who have been working with those same families every date night for years now. So it's kind of a natural process that we've seen come about as far as like the matching goes.
Yeah.
It's a great service. I mean, I can't wait to recommend it.
Thank you. I
know.
appreciate it.
So more about you. You mentioned food and all the wonderful places. I feel like every time we chat, I'd be like, have you been to this place? And you're like, yep. Like you've tried it all for the most part.
Not even near yet.
Well, not
There's
even
probably
near.
a list a mile long of restaurants I want to try, but
where's your go-to? I know we both love Lake Park Diner.
Oh, yep. It's a favorite of mine
lunch.
for sure.
But if you and Miles are doing a date night or you're going out with your girls, either or both, what's your favorite in Naples?
See, that's hard. That is tough because it's very situational. Like whenever I have someone coming and visit, I'll be like, so like what kind of food are we going for? What kind of vibe? Like I'll like narrow it down, give them 3 options. Like you should see the list I'll like give to people if they're like requested, like, oh, can you recommend something?
You treat it like a reservation.
Yeah, for sure. I want to make sure they have the best bid. But a place that's super special to me is Mediterrano on 3rd Street. Went there one of the first times a couple years ago, had an amazing experience. Went with my fiance, Miles. We were like, that was just awesome. I don't know if you guys it's got all like the flowers out front. It looks like a little flower shop.
I have not.
It is so cute. Like the ambiance is adorable. It's very like Mediterranean, outdoorsy, flowers like coming from the ceilings. Like it's super, super cute. Wow. And now it's become a very special place in my heart because that's where my fiance and I went for dinner after we got engaged. So got to shout that place out. They're awesome. They that's like always my like go-to like special occasion, birthdays, getting engaged, fiance engaged, that whole thing. But I love that spot. They do a really good job down there. But I could go on and on about my favorite restaurants.
I love it. Well, I saw you that night, not intentionally.
Yes. Speaking, we could go on to,
the night
favorite bars. Yeah.
So the night you got engaged, I was out with some girlfriends and we went to Sidebar having drinks. And all of a sudden there's all these people and there's a balloon and there's a sign. I'm like, oh, this is their after, engagement party surprise. So me and my girlfriends are like, let's just hang out. We have to see this, right? So, and we're having a couple drinks. An hour and a half goes by. We're still waiting. Okay. Which is fine. Obviously, I didn't know who this person was. Like, we've made it this far. We're not gonna not. And I look up, and sure enough, it's Madison and Miles. And as I started looking around, I'm like, this makes so much sense because I feel like I knew a few people, and I'm like, she knows so many people, and a lot of them were young college girls. And I thought, maybe some of them were your sitters or like your friends. I didn't know. This was a party. She has a huge family.
So probably a lot of them were cousins and siblings.
It was you're just so adored and so loved. I mean, clearly you're just a lovely person, but that was great. I was like, oh my gosh,
No, that was awesome. It was like so exciting because I like didn't know who was there for the party or who was just like there, and obviously surprised.
We're probably
in
the
general,
only like 4 or 5 girls who were just there
crashing the engagement party.
I mean, it was at Sidebar on a Saturday night, so not like we had much say in who was there, who wasn't. But that was a super, super fun night, and a delight running into you as always.
I know, it's the best.
So how about all the new places though that are popping up now that are definitely catering towards the younger demographic, like the District and that whole area, the kitchen and mini bar, and then we get the rooftop bar. What is it?
Limon. Yeah. So many awesome new spots popping up.
I mean, it's all a younger.
It's like almost can't even keep up with like.
It's hard to.
Yeah. It is hard.
We should actually probably go out and,
try them.
Do them all. Yeah.
Okay. I went to the kitchen the other day.
And?
I think the concept is great with all 4 locations, staff only, kitchen, district, and the alley.
Yeah.
Then we stopped in the alley and it's small. And it's, it's supposed to be this like exposed brick. Have you been down there?
Yeah, actually I popped through it the other day. We didn't spend, I don't even know if we got a drink, but
the District's small too.
Yeah. I mean, and that's it is kind of charming. guess my feedback would be I want the kitchen to have bigger, more
Portions.
bigger portions for sure.
Like
And
they're so
bar
small.
food. Like
Yeah.
because at that point you're there, maybe you've had a day drink or you're getting off the boat and you're doing shopping, and it's like, you want to just have a nice hearty snack
Not like
downtown.
one coconut shrimp.
Right. I want the nachos or the tater tots to be more like tavern.
I was just
But
about to
in
say, well,
that-
go to the tavern.
Yeah, but in that ambiance and in that location.
Yeah.
Having the outdoor space.
Yes.
Which I
And-
really love, because there's really not a lot, like the weather's been so gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, if I like want to enjoy the day and enjoy the sunshine, not a lot of spots for that. Like
Right.
they might have like a couple outdoor seats, which I get, because in summer is going to roll through and we're gonna be like, I don't want to be
Right.
outside. Like no, it's hot, it's rainy,
Yeah.
it's gross.
Yeah.
But this time of year, it's so beautiful. Like we want to take advantage of, the gorgeous weather. So I do like the concept that it is very outdoorsy.
I do too.
and,
That's the best part, I think. I mean, it's all, I don't mean to hate on this because I'm not. I truly liked it. I did. I liked it. I actually want to go back.
Okay.
Maybe it was the company that I was around.
But yeah, that'll ruin the time for you. I mean, it
we'll
wasn't
have
me.
to go together next time. We'll have
It wasn't me.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
It was Lance. The company you keep, my friend.
But I will say there is such it's nice to see the influx of all of these places. I mean, I don't know how we're keeping up with like the employment of all these places. That kind of baffles me. But it's
You're
really
not
nice.
kidding.
It's really nice to enjoy them. But and just bringing, a younger feel and, kind of these fun concepts of, like
Yeah.
the outdoor games and vibes that the kitchen has, the rooftop. We'll see if they get their stuff together. They're doing all right, but they're new. Hopefully they'll get it together.
We have high expectations because we have so many amazing restaurants and so
For
many
sure.
amazing, I mean, even Cabana Bar, which you can't even get food there. And somehow it's just the place I want to be.
Yeah.
It's on the bay.
It's
so-
on but I'm saying we have
Mhm.
all these kind of
Yeah.
like iconic places.
And I will say, if it's been around a while, it has like also that like sentimental
Mhm.
like feeling, like Cabana Bar, the dock, like those
Yeah.
places can do no wrong. Like you
Right.
could literally serve me a dirt sandwich and I'd be like, but it's a beautiful view. This place has been here forever.
Exactly. Dirt sandwiches all around.
Yeah.
Which the dock never would. Their food is also incredible. I
it's
love the dock.
great.
It's like a 10 out of 10
Yeah.
favorite of mine too. Like I could go on forever about my favorite restaurants.
So you're going to be married and you're going to have start a family here? I mean, is this the long-term play?
Yeah.
Naples?
Absolutely. Especially as, me owning my business here, wouldn't make sense to be anywhere else. My fiance Miles is working with my family's construction company that has been here for 40, 50 years now. My grandpa started it in the 70s when he moved down here from New York. So, continuing on that legacy, which has been started or, continued on here in Naples. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. My parents are here. His parents are here. My siblings are here. His
Mhm.
siblings are here. We've both never lived anywhere else. I couldn't imagine trying to start over anywhere.
Mhm.
It's just, this place is so embedded in like home for
Mhm.
us. I really couldn't imagine being anywhere else. And then also finding somewhere else that's as clean, as safe, as family friendly, as, magical and, special as Naples is. I'm sure there are places out there for somebody else, but
Right.
for
Yeah,
me,
that's-
Naples is forever home for sure.
Well put.
Yeah. Super well put. Close us out, Lance.
Okay. Well, Madison, I'd like to personally thank you for coming on. It was honestly a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad I know about your services now, and I definitely intend to refer
No. They can't.
What?
They won't come babysit you.
you.
Nice try there, big guy.
You're using the guy, the jokes the guys at the Rotary use. Oh, do you guys babysit 60-year-olds?
Yeah. And the answer's no.
Yeah.
Dang it. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Thank you for being on our podcast.
Yes, thank you so much. And I guess what's your website, or how can people get a hold of you if they want to utilize your services?
Yeah, so they can check out our website, naplesbabysittingcompany.com. We've got lots of good information on there. They can fill out a form, submit a request for a babysitter. They're also more than welcome to call me, and I'd be happy to give more information about our services as well. And our number is 239-682-0246, but I'm sure they'll be able to find that out on the internet somewhere.
It's not hard to track people down.
No, not anymore.
Well, thank you.
We're very grateful. Thank you so much. And thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me, guys.